All right, that is the state amplifying helicopter activity as I'm walking about the property. This is the analogous to sounding sirens while moving about. This is maintenance of the environment, amplified audible activity, while Iris Carnero, and you have what is the people of the state group stalking on the sidewalk in my path. They know exactly where I'm going with regard to posting notices on the grounds, and that's the entity stalking by helicopter. That's them over there on the sidewalk. They're stalking in the path as I'm walking down to this building. The demons they know exactly what I printed out on the computer, what I'm going to distribute on the apartments, and these are psychopaths. They're going to be subject to mental examinations. A demon that's molesting you with engineered light, and then you have what is a supervisor calling me talking about, oh, I have a minion. Well, he didn't say a minion. I'm referencing Don Noggle and the audible activity that I documented while that same entity was flying over my office, communicating a threat through amplified audible activity. And these are the demon possessed that engage in what are talking to each other. That's the outward appearance of what's supposed to seem like just innocent presence. They're in the specific environment where the sun is rising and setting, and where they're driving by you and engineer light is touching all over your person. That's the demon possessed population who's going to federal prison. All right. Hector Aparicio, he comes and parks his vehicle as the entity starts sounding helicopter activity while I'm walking on the sidewalk. So what that is with regard to the elements, this is a demon. This is a third party that is crossing path, and this is very strategic placement of light activity in the path, okay, with simultaneity to the LAPD sounding helicopter activity. These are the minions that are engaging in that pattern of conduct. This is building 1806 number 1. She's going to federal prison. Building 1806 number 3. They're all going to federal prison, but I want to speak to those are the ones that are engaging in the pattern of conduct right now, and they're standing on the sidewalk. Demons looking like they're focused on something else, and all they're doing is monitoring, and they're doing it 24/7. These are very dangerous, highly violent sex offenders, and demon possessed at that, and they're acting on behalf of the state. And this is what the state, and this is how the state is maintaining vicarious presence on a 24-hour basis, where the sun is rising and setting. And so now you're understanding how the demon possessed conduct themselves, and there's nothing normal about it. It's very, very highly disturbing. This is what you're actually understanding what a psychopath looks like and acts like. Okay, never is driving in your vehicle a black Nissan, a Mercedes, a Jaguar, a Pinto. Okay, a Corolla is sunlight going to ricochet off of you and then bounce off onto a person or onto the sidewalk. That's never going to be the case. And this is the entity that's engaging in ongoing stalking engaging in a pattern of stalking. Okay, is entirely focused on you. All right, that's how you know what they are. They're demons that are stalking in the path while the entity is still stalking in helicopter. And the entity that likes to engage in what is obstruction of justice, that's why Iris Carnero, she's going to federal prison for an enhanced period of time. All right, she's engaged in specific acts of intimidation while you're monitoring in the series of the government, yelling at, which is audible activity. All right, and then engaging in what is harassment via the third parties of speaker companies who are engaging in what is audible activity, monitoring with that same entity, and then engaging in a psychotic exchange regarding what you already know is happening, the fact that you're being documented while you're engaged in state surveillance. All right, and Iris Carnero is going to be removed from the children that she also poses a risk to. Very highly deranged mental state, a demon that's targeting somebody else, looking to the left and right, engaging in what is very serious criminal activity and continuously doing so in plain sight. All right, and then frustrated because you're being prosecuted, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And you're a dangerous psychopath, and you need to be placed into a mental facility, if not federal prison. It's currently, by the way, while the entity is engaging in that, it's 4:59 p.m. Iris Carnero of 1806 number 1, and the demons of 1806 number 3, they're stalking in the path on the sidewalk. That's how you engage in group stalking. They're engaging in surrounding conduct while the entity is acting with Hector Aparicio, who parks his car. It's a method of stalking in the path with light, and doing so while the entity flies over by helicopter. Let me be clear. Do not be distracted by the demons that I'm speaking to by name and images and video. All of the people of the state are living in relevant position, group stalking as a people, a demon-possessed population in Los Angeles that's engaged in the state's pattern of conduct. All right, so everything that the entity is doing while I'm living in Alvarado Gardens, it's going to be criminally attributed to the people of the state, who will be subject to what is literally a systematic federal prosecution. In the way that they are engaging in systematic group stalking in the state, there's going to be a systematic prosecution for what the entity is engaging on a systematic, ceaseless basis, engaging in terrorism. All right, it is currently 5 p.m. and that malice that is exhibited by units 18063, 1804 Hector Aparicio, and 1806 number 1, who's also engaging in what is a method of obstruction of justice, which is going to be attributed to the whole entity. Remember, that demon that's molesting me with light and then seeking to what is harass and intimidate through my supervisor, who's asking about that which he knows and he's engaging in with her, while the same entity is stalking and terrorizing in a helicopter. That's attributed to the whole entity. They're all monitoring together. This is why the sun is rising and setting through my apartment. It's never the natural environment. And that prosecution, that obstruction of justice is going to be attributed to every single last one of them. This is why you want to be careful who you engage in criminal endeavors with. Their criminal conduct is going to be attributed to you. And it is speaking to, let me be clear, it is currently 5:01 p.m. and this is P.O.C.